Hi there, I'm champion trader Kevin Davey, and today I'm going to go over my 2022 Algo trading performance. So let's get started. So my 2022 Algo trading performance. Am I going to be surprised? Are you going to be surprised? Or am I going to be angry? Let's find out. First off, for the graphs I'm going to show you, I use the VAMI calculation. It's called a value added monthly index. It's what a lot of pros use. And what it does is it shows the growth of a $1,000 investment. So it's kind of independent of starting capital. So I'm just going to pretend it started with $1,000 and then whatever it did from that point on, you add in the percentage gains or losses every month and it gives you a curve. And like I said, most funds, if you go to some of the CTA, the Commodity Trading Advisor databases, this is what they use. So it's a pretty standard calculation. That's what I'm going to use here. I'm going to start out with that blue point down at the bottom at $1,000 and $1,500 or a 50% annual return. That was my goal for the year. So that's going to be that red kind of orangey line, and you'll see it's just going to be a horizontal line. But that's what I was aiming for, and I started with 1,000. So after 2 months, you can see I really wasn't doing that great. Both of those months, January and February, were losing months. They didn't lose a lot, but I was underwater after 2 months. And I think you'll see this is interesting relative to the overall performance, because you hear a lot of people say, oh, well, I want to make consistent income, algo trading or day trading or whatever. I got to make money every day and that kind of thing. Well, here's after 2 months, I was losing money. But I stuck to my plan. I stuck to the strategies that I was trading. I roughly trade about 30 futures markets and 30 strategies. And I just kept going. So even though at the end of February I was down, March came, and of course the war in the Ukraine really set off energies and grains. And this is what happened the next couple months to my account. You can see by the end of April or so, I was at my 50% target for the year. Now, those of you who are my students know that I discussed this and actually created a brand new course lecture on, hey, should you just quit? When you hit your goal early in the year, kind of like I did here, is it okay just to walk away for the rest of the year? Theoretically, I could have just turned off all trading in April and come back at the end of December and I'd still have that 50% return. I met my goal. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It gives you some free time. You don't have to worry about things. You can work on other trading related things. Like, for example, you can build more algo strategies. So it's definitely something to think about when you hit your goal early in the year. Now, what I did do though, is I did kind of scale back a little bit, took some of the risk off the table, especially in energies, because there was just some crazy moves in energies for those of you who are trading it. For example, I remember the one day where heating oil fell the equivalent of $42,000 per contract in one day. I forget exactly when it was, but if you were long that day, you got walloped. So taking some risk off the table once you hit your goal, that's kind of the way I was treating it. But the next couple months, it still kept going pretty good. And I was up around probably about 85%, right around mid-year or so. And that's when I said, okay, well, now I definitely don't want to give a lot back. So I'm really going to scale back. So I think I've pretty much turned off most of my stock indices strategies. And if I was trading energy strategies, it was probably like one or two of them instead of the normal. I'd probably trade four or so. I really tried to scale back, also in the grains too. And my performance kind of showed it, because then the next few months, it was kind of this downward uh, kind of slope with a couple positive months in there, but overall it was down. And by the end of November, I was in about a 10% drawdown. Still up a lot for the year, but that's when I had my biggest drawdown. So in December, I said, okay, well, now I'm going to turn some strategies back on. Let's see if we can get to a new high for the year. And by the end of December, I was up to a new high. So I was able to reclaim that drawdown. So overall for the year, I ended up with an 88.8% return. That of course made me happy. That's smiling Kevin there. And the interesting thing, and something you guys should really consider as you're algo trading or as you're looking at algo trading, is that I had 4 losing months in that year. So even though I had a really good overall return, at the end of 4 months, I still lost money those months. And all the psychological baggage that comes with losing was certainly there. You know, I had to close the books 4 different months and say, man, my trading lost money this month. And believe it or not, that's psychologically kind of hard for a lot of people, especially newer traders. Now, I've been doing this so many years that this doesn't really faze me that much, as long as there's those winning months and the winning months are better than the losing months. But still, it's 4 losing months. That kind of made me mad, made me angry. And then when I looked at my drawdown compared to whatever the equity peak was, half the year, 6 months of the year, I was in drawdown. So what that means is, when I look at things at the end of every month, I said, wow, I'm lower in equity than I was 1 month ago or 2 months ago or whatever it was. But for the year, there were 6 months where I was at a lower equity point than I was at the close of an earlier month. And that psychologically is hard to deal with. You know, people think of, hey, I should be making money every month, obviously, and drawdowns, oh yeah, I overcome those right away. Well, hey, that's not necessarily true. And like I said, the interesting thing here is 6 of the months I was in drawdown, yet by the end of the year, I still had a really nice return. So that kind of surprised me, and it'll probably surprise you too, that you can be in drawdown so much. And it seems like that's the case whenever I start a new strategy. I get that first signal, immediately it goes into drawdown. It just, I don't know why, it always seems like I'm in a drawdown. And I've come to appreciate that and just live with it. But for somebody new trading, or somebody that doesn't have as much experience, that's tough. That's psychologically tough, to wake up every day knowing that you had more money a month ago in your account, or a week ago, or whatever it was. That's tough. That was 2022. For 2023, I'm going to have the same goals that I always have, which are a 50% return with a 25% maximum drawdown. So this year, I was at 88% for the return and about a 10.1% drawdown. So both those goals were met in 2022. Hopefully, I'll meet those in 2023. You know, sometimes random luck plays a role, and you might not get your goals. That certainly happens. But what you can control is trading good strategies and trading them responsibly. And then if you have that set up, hopefully good things will happen. Obviously, if I meet those goals in 2023, it'll be Smiling Kevin again. All right. Well, if you like this video, please leave a comment. Let me know how you did. Let me know what you think of my performance, especially the drawdowns. What do you think about the fact that I wasn't making money every month? Does it impact how you feel about trading? Please give it a thumbs up. If you like this video, I'll create more that are like this. And if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I'm Champion Trader Kevin Davey. Have a great day.